In the realm of psychology, few concepts have been as profoundly misunderstood and yet as deeply impactful as addiction. For decades, society has grappled with the notion that addiction is primarily a physical dependence on substances. However, a revolutionary perspective rooted in the work of the renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung challenges this conventional wisdom. Jung's assertion that addiction is not merely about drugs, but rather a manifestation of a soul's desperate cry for spiritual fulfillment, has sparked a paradigm shift in our understanding of this complex phenomenon. The concept of addiction as a spiritual malady rather than a purely physiological condition is not a new one. Ancient wisdom traditions have long recognized the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit in human well-being. Yet it was Jung who brought this perspective into the realm of modern psychology, integrating it with his theories of the collective unconscious and the process of individuation. Jung's approach to addiction was deeply influenced by his own experiences and observations. Having worked with numerous patients struggling with alcoholism and other forms of addiction, he came to recognize a common thread: a profound sense of spiritual emptiness. This emptiness, Jung posited, was not simply a byproduct of addiction but rather its root cause. He saw addiction as a misguided attempt to fill a void that could only truly be addressed through spiritual growth and self-realization. The idea that addiction represents a soul screaming for God is a powerful metaphor that encapsulates Jung's understanding of the human psyche, his inherent need for meaning and transcendence. In this context, God need not be understood in a strictly religious sense, but rather as a representation of the higher self, the numinous, or the transcendent aspect of human experience. Jung believed that each individual has an innate drive towards wholeness and self-realization, a process he termed individuation. When this natural process is thwarted or neglected, the result can be a profound sense of disconnection and alienation. This spiritual void creates a fertile ground for addiction to take root. Substances and addictive behaviors become a substitute for genuine spiritual fulfillment, offering temporary relief from the pain of existential emptiness. However, this relief is illusory and ultimately destructive, leading to a cycle of dependency that further alienates the individual from their true self and their potential for growth. Jung's perspective on addiction has far-reaching implications for treatment and recovery. If addiction is indeed a spiritual malady, then effective treatment must address not only the physical and psychological aspects of dependency, but also the deeper spiritual needs of the individual. This holistic approach aligns with the principles of many successful recovery programs, including Alcoholics Anonymous, which emphasizes the importance of spiritual awakening and overcoming addiction. The 12-step program, which has its roots in Jung's ideas, recognizes the need for individuals to surrender to a higher power and to engage in a process of moral inventory and amends-making. These steps are designed to facilitate a spiritual transformation that can fill the void that addiction attempts to address. By reconnecting with a sense of purpose, meaning, and transcendence, individuals in recovery can find a sustainable alternative to the false promises of addiction. Jung's concept of the soul screaming for God in addiction also sheds light on the prevalence of addiction in modern society. In an increasingly secular and materialistic world, many individuals find themselves disconnected from traditional sources of spiritual nourishment. The rapid pace of technological advancement and social change has left many feeling adrift, searching for meaning in a world that often seems devoid of it. In this context, the rise of addiction can be seen as a symptom of a broader spiritual crisis in contemporary culture. This perspective challenges society to reconsider its approach to addiction prevention and treatment. Rather than focusing solely on the physical and psychological aspects of addiction, there is a growing recognition of the need to address the spiritual dimension of human experience. This may involve creating spaces for contemplation and self-reflection, fostering community connections, and encouraging exploration of existential questions about meaning and purpose. The implications of Jung's ideas extend beyond the realm of addiction treatment. They invite a broader reflection on the nature of human fulfillment and the role of spirituality in mental health. In a world that often prioritizes material success and external validation, Jung's perspective reminds us of the importance of inner growth and the pursuit of authentic selfhood. Critics of Jung's approach may argue that it oversimplifies the complex biological and social factors that contribute to addiction. Indeed, modern neuroscience has revealed much about the brain chemistry of addiction, and sociological studies have highlighted the role of environmental factors in substance abuse. However, Jung's insights need not be seen as contradictory to these findings. Rather, they offer a complementary perspective that addresses the existential dimension of addiction, which is often overlooked in purely materialistic approaches. As research in the field of addiction continues to evolve, there is growing evidence to support the efficacy of spiritually oriented interventions in treatment and recovery. Studies have shown that individuals who report a sense of spiritual well-being tend to have better outcomes in addiction recovery programs. This suggests that Jung's insights into the spiritual nature of addiction may have practical applications in developing more effective treatment modalities. In conclusion, Carl Jung's assertion that addiction is not about drugs, but rather a soul screaming for God, offers a profound and transformative perspective on one of society's most pressing issues. By recognizing the spiritual dimension of addiction, we open new avenues for understanding, prevention, and treatment. This approach invites us to look beyond the surface symptoms of addiction and address the deeper existential needs that drive human behavior. As we continue to grapple with the challenges of addiction in the modern world, Jung's insights remind us of the enduring importance of spiritual fulfillment in human well-being and the potential for transformation that lies within each individual's journey towards wholeness.